Are you thinking about selling your home? Maybe you're wondering about what you can do to improve the curb appeal of your house. Today we're going to talk about some tips to help you prep your house for that first face-to-face meeting with today's real estate buyer. And we're starting right now. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Harry Moore, and I'm a realtor in the Washington, D.C. metro area. I post new videos every week about all things real estate in the DMV. You've won the battle for the hearts and minds of today's real estate buyer by making sure that you have all the appropriate marketing strategies in place. Your agent used professional photographs, comprehensive traditional marketing, and broad-based online marketing to get maximum market exposure. I did an earlier video which outlines a selection of marketing tips and tricks to help you win in today's real estate market. Click above, somewhere up there, and check it out. The buyers have contacted their agent. Everybody worked out their schedules, and they've made an appointment to see the house. Everyone arrives out front, and now they meet your house face to face for the first time. What have you done to make sure that they'll be impressed? There are two parts to curb appeal, from the street and from the front door. Today we'll talk about the view from the street. Actually, I'm going to start with one thing that can impact people's impression of the house before they've even arrived. It's a little pet peeve of mine that I'll share with you. It frustrates me when I'm driving up the street and looking for the house that I'm going to show, and the house numbers are practically invisible from the street. So take a look at your numbers from the street and make sure that you can see them and that they're not crooked or broken or dirty. If any of those is true, you'll want to repair or replace them. I have a follow-on video that talks about things to do around the front door to make that area pop. I've linked it above and in the description. So watch that before you make any changes to your numbers. That way you'll be sure that you've got a comprehensive plan. When the buyers and their agents arrive at the front of the house, they'll be looking at the big picture, and you want to make sure that they like what they see. If you have a lawn, it should be edged and weeded. If it's not warm enough or too hot, the grass may still be brown. And that's okay, but everything should be neat and tidy. Next, let's move on to the flower beds. They should be freshly mulched and edged. Look at all of the plants. If they're dead, remove them. If they're overgrown, trim them back. You want to add a little splash of color here and there as well. You can do that by planting things in the beds or using strategically placed potted plants. Please remember to water them regularly, otherwise they'll look really sad and droopy when people walk up. That defeats the purpose of having them there in the first place. Speaking of watering, make sure that your hose is neat and tidy. If you don't have one of those hose reels to wrap it up, you can use a big pot or a little box or bin to coil it up and put it inside. Something that a lot of people forget is to take a good hard look at the sidewalk and the driveway. If there are cracks or bumps in either of them or the stairs, have them repaired. This is both an aesthetic issue and a safety issue. I can tell you that any good home inspector is going to notice a trip hazard like that and put it in their report, which means one more potential negotiating point on the home inspection list. If the sidewalk or driveway are just dirty, power wash them. Depending on the surface, you may want to consider painting the sidewalk and the steps. That really helps freshen things up. If you do, here's a tip. Mix something with texture into the paint. Otherwise, it'll be like a skating rink when it rains, and somebody will get hurt. A lot of people have those solar-powered lights along the sidewalk to guide people up to the front door. They are a great, inexpensive alternative to traditional hardwired landscaping lights. The problem is, they don't usually last too long. Make sure that yours all work and that they're not crooked or dirty. If it's just easier to remove them, you might want to do that. Or you can just replace them. They're usually fairly inexpensive. Another thing that some people miss is the electric box and the cable telephone boxes. If they're visible from the front of the house, see if you can camouflage them a bit by painting them a similar color as whatever surface they're mounted to. Another bit of camouflaging that's a good idea is to look at the heat and air conditioning compressor. If it's visible from the front of the house, you may want to put a couple of plants in front of it. But make sure they aren't too close to the unit. You don't want to block the airflow to the compressor. Another solution is to get a simple, inexpensive lattice fencing to put in front of it. That'll cover it up from the street. Another thing that can really freshen up the front of the house is shutters. If the house already has them, give them a once-over and see if they're faded or dirty or cracked or crooked. If they are, repair or replace them. If you replace them, it can be an opportunity to change the color of the shutters so that they coordinate with the front door color. Again, you may want to watch that video where I talk about things to do with the front door and the area right around it. Click above to check that out. So, you've learned a few key items to look at when you're prepping the outside of your house to go on the market. Once you've caught the buyer's eye online, you want to make sure that first face-to-face meeting with your house goes well so that the buyers are excited and want to make it their new home. I'm Harry Moore with Keller Williams Capital Properties, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like what you saw, please mash that like button. Happy thumbs are most appreciated. And if you know someone who might be interested in buying or selling real estate in the DC area, please share it with them. If you want to see more videos about real estate in the DMV, then subscribe and ring that bell so you'll be updated whenever new videos come out. Make it a great day, and I'll see you again soon.